Well, good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? Scotty Evan here with the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics, and we are live from the new Raceway Park. Pour and pray, Evan Herod joins me as well.
How you going this morning?
Doing all right, all right. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to be recapping the 2021 season along with our question of the day.
Going to be interviewing some drivers as well, so stay tuned and keep up to date on what happened in 2021 and looking forward to 2022 next season. Up next here on the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. Well, good morning, race fans, and yes, it is that time again. Episode 2 here of Season 2 for the Announcers Booth podcast. There's background noise here. I'm thinking, what's going on? Well, we're live here, recording this live, I should say, from the pit area from the new Raceway Park in Jefferson, South Dakota, home of Sunday Church in the Dirt, South Dakota style, here on a Sunday morning, as per this recording, and currently sitting in Tyler Smith's trailer, driving the 22T Hobby Stock, and got to say a big thank you to him for letting us use the trailer set up here and everything. And a big thank you to the Steve Corrali and family for letting us do this. Well, you heard him on episode 1, folks. He had so much fun. He wanted to come back full-time. Evan Herod, hashtag Pour and Pray is here, like you heard the intro. And Evan, it's not as early as it was in Columbus a couple weeks ago.
I was up at the same time, but we're starting later. So
starting a little later, yes.
Time to wake up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, you decided to come on full time. Had so much fun the last time. Great to have you here, man.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be doing it.
He calls me. He's like, that was a lot of fun, just talking racing and whatnot. Let's do this full time. Can we make that happen? Absolutely. The more, the merrier. As looks like Larry's tending to the chicken over there currently on my smoker. Thanks, Larry. You're the best. We have a cooking competition that's going on right now, too. So currently smoking up some pork shoulder, pork loin, chicken breasts, and yeah.
If I go silent, it's because I'm going to eat.
Yes, there's a mute button for a reason. So 2021 season just coming to an end. This is our last day of the new Raceway Park here, Evan. I know you really haven't been here that often. You've been here a few times this season, but
came up a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. You know more like the racing scene out in Nebraska that happened this season. I mean, how's the season out there been? I mean, the season here has just been great. And how was it like for you guys?
We've had better seasons, but it wasn't the worst.
Wasn't the worst.
Competition, obviously, anywhere you go is going to be heavy.
Right. A
lot of big, heavy hitters, no matter where you go.
And it doesn't matter which class it is either.
Yeah.
There's heavy hitters in every class. So it's... I don't know. It seems like the past few years, like the hobby stocks have really taken over, but now it seems like the sport mods are starting to take over.
Sport mods are coming back. Stock cars, heavy hitters everywhere.
It's still one of the best classes in the competition. There's a reason why, especially in the IMCA sanction, they call it the class too tough to tame. And last night's racing here at the new Raceway Park definitely showed why. We had 4 wide racing and 5 wide racing in the heat races.
In the heat races?
Heat races.
That's not really heard of.
No.
That's awesome.
And this is a tight bull ring, tight quarter mile bull ring. So season here wrapping up here in 2021 in the new Raceway Park, and a lot of good competition here, and we got 2 point champions that are 3 years in a row, that being Chris Mills, the O2 Junior Modified. He is 3rd year in a row champion here in the Modified Division. Travis Barker in the stock car class. Those 2 guys are some tough hitters. Sport Mods, Rusty Monsang was the point champion here this season. The Hobby Stocks, David Miller driving the 34M. He was on fire this year. And Connor Brown, it was Connor Brown in the Sport Compacts as well.
I believe it was.
Yeah, 35X, and that's his 2nd track championship this year. So, yeah, a lot of things happening here in South Dakota, and it's been, like I said, I know the Nebraska scene a little bit different out there for you, but very, very well. A lot of good racing out there as well.
Some excellent racing.
Yes, absolutely. So, I guess one of the topics that I want to talk to you about, though, too, is, and we've seen it a lot this year, with when you're having, good, hard racing side by side, 2, 3 wide or whatever, especially like coming down to a win, sportsmanship. sportsmanship, I mean, I guess I've seen a lot this season. I don't know if you have over in your area, but it's just a lot of, pulling up next to each other, say, hey, that was a good race, man. Congrats on the win. Or, hey, you didn't make that easy.
Yeah, I've unfortunately seen more, hey, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that too, but it's good to see the sportsmanship, though. But, I mean, just the great racing, though, for the fans at the same time.
Oh, yeah. When it's coming down 3-4 wide for the win,
yeah,
there's nothing better that you can put on for fans.
And just, I think, fans come to watch the drivers, and I don't think a lot of them realize, like, the amount of work that goes into these cars.
I really don't think so.
And it especially, and we've talked about this before, but just like the shop time during the week, going in, working on the car, general maintenance, making sure, oil change, fluid check, bolt check, make sure everything's good to go, maybe change the setup a little bit, tire pressures, weight jacks for, stock cars or whatnot, and suspension changes for, modifieds. And, it's just all these things that, that people, I guess, really don't think about. And I know, you and I at one point, we've grown up racing, but you really don't think about it or know about everything until you get into the car yourself.
Exactly.
You don't realize how much work it actually is until you get in the car.
Or trying to get 3 on the track at one time.
Yes, that too. That we would know all about that. Yes, no, that too. But no, races are won in the shop is the saying.
They are.
And
I 100% believe that.
And I mean, yes, you have to have, the skill to know what you're doing out on the track, but at the same time, making sure the car is ready for the track, because the track breaks down from hot laps to heat races to features. So you got to make sure you got your car set up right. Got to make sure, like you said, fluid, bolt check, everything set up and whatnot to make sure that everything's going to be, A-okay. So, yeah, race is definitely one in the shop, and just the work that these drivers put into these race cars, I don't think everyone just realizes it. So the next time, like if you're talking to a racer or whatnot, tell him, hey, hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and you definitely earned that one here tonight. So we are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to do the 4 Orange Salvage question of the day, and it's Evan, had a little bit of influence on this question. In the last episode, you heard Evan coin the phrase, when drinking with a helmet on, it's kind of like a...
Pour and pray.
Yeah, pour and pray. So on that subject, we're going to get to the 4 Orange Salvage question of the day right after we take a break here and hear from 4 Orange Salvage. Stay tuned.
Evicted tenants leave a mess behind? Have an old appliance that you're tired of staring at? Yard waste, branches, carpet, old furniture, other discarded items you just want gone? Well, 4 Orange Salvage can take it all away. Call Jamie at 605-376-8532 for a quote today, or you can find him on Facebook by searching 4 Orange Salvage Junk Haulers. Contractless payment through Venmo or PayPal is also available. Quick, easy, and affordable junk hauling. 4 Orange Salvage. We pick things up and we take them away. Serving Sioux Falls, South Dakota and surrounding areas.
So back here with the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And like you said, you heard in the ad read, I should say, I cannot talk today. Jamie there with 4 Orange Salvage, definitely one of the best in the business when it comes to junk hauling. And, Jamie sponsors a lot of cars around the Sioux Falls area. And, also does a lot for racing. And it's just very, very good. And, cannot thank Jamie enough for everything he does. And just like last season, they bring you the 4 Orange Salvage question of the day. And like we heard the phrase coined from Evan last week, this is what had to do with the question. So, Evan, what was the question of the day?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot.
Yes, we're going to put you on the spot.
What is it? What is your favorite drink?
What is your go-to drink?
There you go. What is your go-to drink?
When at the racetrack. So we're going to start off with Facebook here. And let's see here. Well, someone already commented that says Evan's Columbus-style Mountain Dew is pretty bomb. Just ask him. So, Evan, how about that Mountain Dew?
It was Mountain Dew.
Yes.
I wouldn't put anything else besides Mountain Dew in a Mountain Dew bottle.
We'll just leave it at that.
We're leaving it.
Blaze Coffee says, Rowdy energy drinks. I've convinced myself it improves reaction time or something like that. I'm still too slow, so it must not work. Greg Hammond, who's actually just right next to us, fixing Sport Mod there, says, Monsters before and Bush Lattes after.
We got TJ Milky here with Gatorade and water and Coors Light after the races.
Evan O'Walt says root beer.
Tim Pritchett Jr., Gatorade, pop, water, and wonderful Bud Light after the race.
And then the good old dearest mother, Nate DeSivey, Crunk Energy. Pomegranate flavor is really the only option here. Yeah, I have not tried that. We might have to give that.
Either.
Yeah, we might have to give that a try. Let's see. Kyle Reed also said Mountain Dew. And we're going to go over to TikTok now. And we got some answers over here. Jackson Racing 98, our friend Jared Jackson. Monster and Powerade. Our friend Brady says Iced Tea. Mitchell Don Hayville. Bud Light after I'm done racing. Yieldman says Mountain Dew. Roxanne Woodle says Coke. And we have one here that says water till feature's over, then Coors Light. And you know what? The old mountain man has, I think... He must be at the liquor cabinet a lot, but Old Mountain Man says triple Jack Daniels on the rocks. I hope he's not driving a car.
I hope not, but that sounds kind of good.
Austin Brand says water or white monster, and Lifeline 86 says Natty Light. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a Natty Light. That actually sounds kind of good right about now, but... No, that is the Forearm Salvage question of the day. Be sure to stay tuned to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter for next week's question of the day. As it looks like Larry's still busy on the smoker over there. I should really go check that here on our next break. So that is going to do it for the Forearm Salvage question of the day. We're going to take another quick break here and hear from our title advertiser in Rapid Graphics. So we'll be right back right after this.
Rapid Graphics, located in Rock Rapids, Iowa, on the corner of Highway 9 and 75, specialize in graphics and signage of all types. They specialize in indoor and outdoor signage, banners, commercial vehicles, custom logos, race car graphics, and much, much more. Rapid Graphics have the tools to get your job done, and you can find them easily on Facebook at Rapid Graphics 12. For more information, contact Rapid Graphics for all of your custom graphic and signage needs today.
So back here live from the new Raceway Park here in the pits for day number 2 of the South Dakota Nationals, and a little bit of background noise. Got a cooking competition going on. We also got some work going on the sport mod over here. Speaking of sport mods, Evan, you just bought one yesterday.
I did.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know. That seems like a pretty good answer. And probably the same question this guy that just joined us is thinking, what was he thinking buying a sport mod? Daniel Woodle, driver of the 16W Sport Mod Suicide Awareness Car, joined us now. And Dan, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So sport mods, they seem to be on the rise here within the past couple of years, and pretty exciting, dramatic. Just a few words to give a description to the class. You've been doing pretty good this season, especially last half of the season. His words escape me at the moment. And really coming through the field here. What got you into racing, and what got you into the sport mod?
Just one day decided to browse into looking into one because we raced figure eights at the fairs and stuff, and we were winning those. And then we decided, you know what, let's try something a little more challenging. So then when I was looking for a car, I just happened to stumble across a sport mod, and that's how it all started about 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago, and now 10 years later, here you are, and still trying to figure things out. I know those cars, you basically learn something new every week.
Yep.
And how's it been the past 10 years driving a sport mod?
Well, we started off in a 2001 Sardenson chassis, and everyone I knew had a lot newer technology, and we were just getting the feel for it. And then that's all we ever raced was older cars because we did better with them. I think the newest one I ran 5-6 years ago was an 04 Harris. And then now we got into the newer ones. We got a 2010 and a 2018 Assault. So now we're trying to figure these out because there's smaller adjustments can make the world of difference. On them older cars, you basically, one hole, you adjusted an inch. Now you're adjusting a 1/4 inch.
That sounds like a pour and pray type subject there, Evan.
Yep.
That's right up your alley.
That is right up my alley.
So then, like, how is, like, the changes with these chassis just, like, I don't know, just, like, adapted or, like, progressed throughout the years since you've been racing, especially going from the older equipment now to the newer equipment, like you were just saying?
The technology's a lot different. The older cars are built stout. They're not made to flex. These newer ones, they flex, so you're always checking for cracked welds and all the random stuff. And, I mean, over time, you learn from here to there, and then you apply this. Like on these newer ones, we mainly focus on shocks, not so much adjustments, mainly adjust our shock packages to compensate for a track condition.
And it's really huge. I mean, just like we were talking about earlier, Evan, track breakdown from, hot laps to heat races to features. And it's like, what would like a normal like change be throughout the night for that track breakdown?
Usually when the track starts off, it's going to be a little slimy on top. So we usually put a dry slick setup on to compensate for the slime. And then when it kind of slicks off and peels that slime off, normally, I change the right rear shock. I mainly focus on the right rear because your left rear, no matter what, you're going to basically get drive out of it.
Yep.
So I compensate how much drive I want on the right rear, how I want it to grab going in, how free I want it, how free off or how tight off. It's kind of mind-boggling on how you can set up a car. I mean, the track just it's like driving on ice. And you can set up a car to basically handle it.
Right. You have any questions for him over there, Evan?
No, I'm just learning.
You're just learning.
I'm learning.
Learning as well. You're going to be in a sport mod next year yourself, so learning from Dan here. So, just with the different types of like, what have you learned this year? Like we said, you've been moving through the field pretty stoutly actually these past few weeks. Second place finish last week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That had to feel good, and knowing hard work's paying off.
It felt really good. We finally were getting. We struggled at the beginning of the season. Like I said, we got into this newer car technology, and we were fighting to find the right combination between shocks, tire stagger, how much trail we want in the rear end, how much lead, and all that. And then we finally found the happy medium where we can just adjust our shock package and our right rear bead lock to compensate for a track instead of going through and adjusting this, that. So basically, we just focus on right rear now.
So now, how many tracks have you raced then in the Sport Mod division? I know you're here at the new Raceway Park, and I seem to be having fun about every week that you're here. What are some other tracks that you've been to around here in the area?
Quite a few. We've been to Stewart, Iowa, Eagle, quite a few, Dent, Crawford, mainly around the whole Midwest. And we did go to the Boone Super Nationals this year. That was something we've never done in the 10 years we've been racing. So we decided to give that a try, and actually we did really well. Led our heat race up until the last 4 laps, and we finished second in that. And then in our B feature, we started 18th, came all the way up to 7th, and we missed the last chance qualifier by 2 points.
Oh, man. But still a great experience nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. I had a blast. That was the most fun I had racing down there.
Now we're going to see you stick with the Sport Mod then moving forward, or are we thinking maybe, I don't know, stock car, maybe a mod in the future, or...
We'll see how things go. We tried a mod, and they're fun to drive, but a lot more expensive.
And probably a lot more technical, too, than a Sport Mod, wouldn't it be?
Yep, they have a little more rear-end adjustments you can make.
Right. Well, I know with the Sport Mod, you got the 2-link suspension. You go to a modified, you got a 4-link suspension
4-link,
there, and it's a lot more give and take and more push and play or pour and pray. It's
I mean, sport mods, they're a handful on their own. The maintenance every week, making sure all your heims are free. I mean, if you're a crate runner, you just check your rock arms and stuff. But us open guys, we're constantly checking everything, compression to rocker arms to our valve travel, making sure everything's still going good. And like I said, we switched heads not long ago, which really woke this motor up. And I think that was the definite benefit to getting this car to come alive, is getting more horsepower to it.
See, we see, Evan and I were talking earlier, it's some of the, yes, the horsepower under the hood and everything, but, you also got to make sure you got the setup right and to get the drive off the corners that you need, and then leave it to the motor for the straights.
Yep. Basically, like last night, we would come off the corner. The car was fast. We started midfield, got all the way to 4th. The last caution came out, and we thought we could hold the bottom, but I knew it slicked off. But coming off, we lost all our drive because it got really, really dry slick down there. And, I anticipated the tach to maybe stay a little longer, but sometimes you risk it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I should have changed my right rear shock back to the normal way I have it, but we decided to try to free that right rear up just a little bit more. And it paid off for the beginning of the race, and then right at the end, it didn't hold. So,
But you still had fun, though, right?
Oh, yeah, I had a blast.
That's the main thing in racing, and I mean, Evan will tell you the same thing. If you're not having fun, you probably shouldn't be behind the wheel.
No.
You shouldn't be.
There's going to be times it's going to be stressful, yes. I mean, everybody has their moments where, yeah, this sucks. You just got taken out, But you got to adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome, yes.
Because otherwise you let that get to you, you drive above your head, and then you're driving slower than you actually could be going faster.
Absolutely. So, a lot of technical stuff that goes into these sport mods as well. And just the regular maintenance, like you mentioned there, Daniel, and just having fun at the same time doing it. But, being with the racing family's got to be one of the best feelings of all, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a blast coming every week. I mean, hanging out with guys, grilling out, having a good old time, helping each other out, getting their cars put together. I mean, I have a blast doing it.
And so it's night number 2, South Dakota Nationals, and I believe you transferred to tonight's A-Main, or do you have to come through a last chance?
I finished 7th, so I got to come through the last chance, but I got a feeling if we put our setup back to the normal way we had it, I think we got a car to go up there.
So expecting good things tonight from the 16W?
Yes, that's our goal.
So we'll be sure to watch Dan Woodle out here in the 16W Sport Mod tonight. Once again, raising awareness for suicide. Got the suicide awareness rap going on there. Love what you guys are doing. Dan, got to say thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for having me.
So once again, Daniel Woodle here, driver of the 16W machine. Watch for him later on tonight, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So it's definitely looking forward to some good racing out here tonight, Evan. So we're going to take another quick break here and hear from the Sodak iRacing Series, and right after that, we'll see if we can track down another driver for another interview here. But until then, stay tuned.
The Sodak iRacing League is the premier iRacing league for drivers, crew members, fans, and sponsors in the tri-state area around South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. From street stocks to super late models, modifieds to sprint cars, the Sodak iRacing League does them all. You can follow all of their seasons live and free on Advantage Racing TV. For more information, look for Sodak iRacing on Facebook or join the league by searching for Sodak under the Leagues tab on your iRacing account.
So back here on the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And yes, Sodak iRacing Series coming up with another season here, I think, in November. We've been talking to Troy, and Sean and I are excited to bring the series back. We'll be the voices for the series, I guess, as Troy is bringing the series back. And yes, cannot wait for that. Meanwhile, we're still here at the New Raceway Park in Jefferson, South Dakota. And Evan, this is a completely change of scenery than what it was yesterday. Yesterday, it was cloudy and a little dreary. Is that the sun that's shining now today?
It might. I think it is.
I think it is, too. It's awfully bright outside. Except we're sitting here in the trailer, and we just happen to be inside of Tyler Smith's trailer here, driver of the 22T Hobby Stock, who actually joins us now. And don't worry, Tyler, your car was well protected last night as I slept in your trailer. Thank you for that, by the way.
No problem.
And, yeah. Here at the New Raceway Park, Hobby Stock, we just went from Sport Mod to Hobby Stock, 2 completely different things. And how's the year been so far for you?
I mean, for a rookie year, I'd say it was pretty successful so far.
And you've been running the Raceway Park here pretty regularly. I know you ran Park Jefferson across the street, picked up a win across the street, actually. Yep. What would be like the big difference, I guess, running from like the smaller track, small bowling here to across the street where you got 4/10 mile? Is it more hammered down or in a little more room to play, or?
Well, I think in my driving style anyway, the walls scare me a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So I'm a little more in the throttle over there where I can kind of mess up and go over the side of it and still keep it going straight.
Well, just a piece of advice: the closer you are to the wall, the less it hurts.
True.
I have learned from experience.
Yeah, both of us have learned from experience, yes.
I mean, that tends to be the fast line at this track anyway, is the high side typically.
Right. And usually, it's the inside is the shortest way around the track, but when you got a small, tight bull ring like this, especially with the way the banking is, the high side is going to be the fastest because you got the momentum, buried to the floor. Yeah. And I noticed last night Jason Ward talking with you a little bit. Is he giving you a little advice, from a stock car driver to hobby stock? Or
Jason Ward and Kyle Davis have been a lot of help, especially in the last couple of weeks because I broke an axle here, was it week 4 championship week.
Yep.
And somehow Jason still had some hobby stock parts laying around from his days in a hobby stock. And
oh, wow. That was a long time ago.
yeah, so he was able to help me get a backing plate and some spring kits and whatnot to get my car back together for South Dakota Nationals.
So now with the rookie year, and is this your rookie year overall?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
overall, okay. So I know from the first night, just trying to get a feel for the car to now running with the field and been running up front a few times too. How would you say your progression has been throughout the season, and how much have you taken away from it?
Oh, the beginning of the season, it was a struggle for sure. I went from being, hopefully I can make an A out of a B here, to if I don't finish top 10, I'm frustrated with myself. So it's more, I don't know, I think I've progressed personally a lot really quickly.
And it just, the hobby stocks, it's way different than any other car because you got hand-over-hand steering for one. And, Evan, you're a former hobby stock driver yourself, and so am I. You got skinnier tires than the rest of them, but it's still a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, my first time in a car was Greg let me drive his Sport Mod mid-season championship of last year. So going from a quick steer, big tires, more power.
Right.
And then South Dakota Nationals last year, I drove a compact, which is even more. So before this season, I was jumping around a lot, just driving whatever I could.
But just found a home in the hobby stocks.
Yep. Well, it's basically what I could afford.
Right. Right. But hobby stock racing though too, over the past few years, it's been on the rise. Now, like we said, sport mods seem to be on the rise. But and Evan, I'll ask you the same thing. What makes this, hobby stock class so much fun to race in?
There's not very many adjustments. It comes down to the actual driver.
And I think that's probably one thing I know that you would probably say you've learned throughout the year, though, too, is, just really how to become the driver, throttle control, and setup-wise, too, because there's not really many adjustments you can make, but some of the small adjustments can make the biggest difference.
Yep.
Springs.
Yeah, springs are huge. I had a 13-inch spring in for a while and couldn't drive it. And we bought the car turnkey, and ever since then, we've made changes, and every time it got a little worse, so we put it back to how it was. So the car's sitting essentially how it was when we bought it.
So moving forward, what does it look like for the 22T now? Are we going to stick with the hobby stock for a few more years, or are we thinking about maybe upgrading?
Well, we're for sure being a hobby stock next year. The ultimate goal in the far future is I want to be an A-mod driver at some point.
Oh, wow.
So
I got one, I'll sell you.
You just bought it.
I say, aren't you converting it to a sport mod?
I am.
But
Trying to.
Going to try my best.
Yes.
within a couple years, I do plan on moving to a sport mod, which Greg will be a big help. And my dad used to drive modifieds, so.
So you have the knowledge behind it. It's just getting behind the wheel yourself and making those adjustments and whatnot to really see what you can do there, because so many things change when going from hobby stock to, like I said, a sport mod, even to a stock car too. So, you got to come through a last chance qualifier here tonight. I know you do. Last night you had some stuff with your motor. Got it fixed today, or what are we looking at here?
We'll find out if we got it fixed come hot laps. So, burned a plug wire through and running lack of power. I could only turn about $5,000 in RPMs all night. Still managed to make the A, which was good, I guess, but only went backwards once we got into it.
Well, try last chance qualifier tonight to get into the A main event here for the Hobby Stocks tonight. But I gotta say, Tyler, definitely thank you for coming on the show, man. Greatly appreciated. And I know I'm the best guard dog you've ever had. The car did not get stolen, so you're welcome.
Yep.
He didn't do what I wanted him to. When you pulled in, I told him to come bark at you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. I mean, I make a fool of myself already most days, so we didn't need to do that anymore. But no, be sure to watch for Tyler at tonight's South Dakota Nationals. By the way, Evan, I don't know what we were thinking. You can catch all the racing action on AdvantageRacing.tv tonight, as well as DoneRight.tv too.
That you can.
So be sure to watch for the 22T Hobby Stock. And Tyler, thanks for coming on the show, man. Greatly appreciated.
Yep, no problem.
We're going to take another quick break here, and we are going to hear from Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography. And then we're going to close out the show with possibly looking forward here in the offseason and what to expect come 2022. Stay tuned.
Advantage Racing TV is your source for local entertainment in the tri-state area. From compacts to late models and sprint cars, Advantage Racing TV has just what you need to cure your racing ailments. Check them out online at www.advantageracing.tv and take advantage of your racing addiction.
AOK Photography and Design is the place for all your photo needs. AOK does racing hero cards, blankets, canvas, racing sponsor photos, as well as other personalized items. Located out of Montevideo, Minnesota, they can get what you need at an affordable price. Check them out on Facebook for more information, and you'll find that their guaranteed service is A-OK.
So back here at the new Raceway Park here for episode number 2 of the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And a big thank you to AOK Photography and Design. Alex is actually here this weekend taking pictures, printing off calendars, event photos, and doing a very good job at it. And also a big thank you to Advantage Racing TV for being one of the advertisers as well. And I know you've watched a few of their productions. They produce some great stuff, Evan.
They really do. One of my favorite racing videos came from them.
Gee, and I wonder who the announcer was on that one.
We might be able to guess. I don't know.
Absolutely. We know a big thank you to both of them for being advertisers on the show here. And Evan, I mean, I know tonight we're looking forward to some great racing action here for day number 2 of the South Dakota Nationals. And it all ends tonight here for 2021. And I know looking forward to next year for the 2022 season is going to be a blast.
I'm looking forward to it. Me trying to put this car together, I might come up here and try to play around.
Absolutely. And, you know, in the Sport Mod class, it's really going to be fun, I think. And like I said, Sport Mod's definitely been on the rise past couple of seasons. And I think, you know, they're just getting better and better, not only with the car count, but just the show that those guys produce as well.
They really are. That's actually one of the reasons I got into it also, is because it's a fun class. Here at the new Raceway Park, it's been a track that I've always wanted to run.
And it's been an up and down season for some of the drivers out here, but I mean, the racing is, you know, next to nothing but amazing. It's just really fast paced. One of the most fast tracks I've ever seen. Everything just zips by and just produces some great racing. Like we said, 5 wide in stock cars last night, you know, 3-4 wide in sport mods and just about every other class. Hobby stocks went green flag to checkered flag last night. No cautions.
What?
Yes.
You just blew my mind.
I know. You and I are both, you know, former hobby stock drivers going, wow, that the hobby stock's possible to go green to checkered? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm impressed.
I was too. I was sitting in the booth going, well, we actually just did that. That was nice. All right. So, yeah, no, looking forward to 2022. I mean, it just seems like with every season, I mean, at least from like a announcer, fan standpoint, the racing just seems to get better. As a driver, yeah, you're going to have your ups and downs throughout the season, and you'll have a really good season, then you'll have an off season, a really good season, but it just seems like the caliber of talent behind the wheel just gets better and better with every coming year.
It really does. There's, like we talked about, the setups and the new technology and the cars. It just improves every year. So the drivers get better.
And constantly changing, too.
It really does.
I mean, a little more expensive, yes, but you know what? If it's making the races better, the crowd's going to enjoy it that much more.
And you got to pay to play.
Exactly. You have to pay to play, but it's all worth it in the end just to, like this little girl that's watching us here right now, the smiles on the kids' faces is what it comes down to.
It really does come down to that.
And just really, you know, putting on a good show because, you know, the kids are actually, you know, the future of this sport here. So as long as the kids are having fun and the drivers are having fun doing it, let racing live on.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, yes, cannot wait as we look forward to 2022 coming up next year. Evan and I are going to get some more interviews here while we're here at the new Raceway Park, but we are going to close out this portion of the show, and we cannot thank you guys enough. And Evan, you know, the sun is shining, the cookout is being good, and Yeah, it's been very fun hosting with you. Thanks for coming on full time, man. It's been fun.
It has been fun. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Want to say a big thank you to Daniel Woodle and Tyler Smith for being on the show today. A big thank you to Matthew Broadus, Jerry Van Sickle, and of course, Sean Neesett for helping out with the show, and to you, the race fans, for making this possible and listening to us each and every week. Could not do this without you. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode with some more great guests. And Evan and I will have another 4 Orange Salvage question of the day. Cannot wait till then. Closing thoughts, Evan?
No.
He doesn't have any, so we will see you next week. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.